particularly around proxy reporting and proxy season, being mindful of carefully crafting your cybersecurity policies and then really accurately saying what it is you are doing to protect shareholders rather than overstating some lofty goals and policies that aren't actually in effect.
Joining me today is Christine Garrison, General Counsel and Secretary with Farmland Partners. Christine, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now here at REITwise, you were on a panel looking at some of the key issues facing REIT General Counsels. What do you think is the most pressing issue facing GCs in this current environment?
I think that most people would agree with this, that we are just being asked to do more with less. And I'm at a smaller company, and so, less is, you can't get less. But then being asked to take over more compliance issues, ESG compliance, cybersecurity compliance, and I think more and more GCs are being tasked with more external functioning as well and investor-facing functions. But I think the upside to all of it for me is getting to know the business better and understanding the operations better, and getting involved in some of the operational aspects that maybe you wouldn't have been previously, like how do we go about cybersecurity? How do we measure some of the environmental impact from our properties? And I think that the companies are looking for more experience and broader experience for general counsels, which I think is creating some mobility among general counsel. Both, I think more companies are looking externally for more experienced counsel, which then open up opportunities for more junior lawyers as well.
Is there an under-the-radar issue that you think might become more significant in the years to come?
I'm not sure how under the radar it is, but one thing we saw with a lot of the ESG reporting is this wave of greenwashing litigation. And so one thing that I'm mindful of is with the new cybersecurity reporting, you could foresee some cyber washing litigation that came from that. And so I think particularly around proxy reporting and proxy season, being mindful of carefully crafting your cybersecurity policies and then really accurately saying what it is you are doing to protect shareholders rather than overstating some lofty goals and policies that aren't actually in effect.
And lastly, Farmland Partners was the victim of a high-profile short and distort fraud scheme. What were the main lessons that you took away from that situation?
Personally, I'm really glad that I paid attention in my first year civil procedure class. I didn't know that I would be tasked with understanding collateral estoppel as well as I did there. It's definitely an example of the wheels of justice moving very slowly, but eventually with enough patience getting there. I also think that having a litigation background is in fact good for the general counsel position. And lastly, I think that it just speaks to the cost of being a public company, and they are far understated. There is this overhead of being public that any public company is at risk of this sort of litigation, and it is unfortunately just a reality of being public and managing through some of these litigation costs and these kind of cases is something that I wish didn't happen. And I know that myself and others in my company wish that the DOJ would do their own investigation on this and hold some of these short sellers, some of them, not all of them, accountable for these sort of damages.